All right. So I also have two things I want to talk to you about this Australia issue, this whole thing. But I want to talk to you about them offline, not for the not for public. But after the show, I want to talk to you. Maybe we'll set up a time. We'll do coffee or something this week. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and because I have some things I want to wrap about with you personally, not for these people.
Okay.
Does that sound doable?
Okay.
All right. So we did that. Anything you want to add to that?
I guess I need a job. Okay, go ahead. What do you have tonight?
All right. What do I have? The first thing I wanted to talk about. Well, there's a lot of things I have to talk about. I wanted to confront you on a couple things that you predicted and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. First, let's talk sports.
Okay.
Before the season started, before the NFL season started, back in the summer when we were back in that the hubble with the crickets and everything, you asked me who was going to win, who's going to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, you said the 49ers.
And
No, you did. Not in the summer.
not in the summer. I said I don't want to have anything part of this. I want to wait till like 6 weeks into the season before I say anything because it's way too early to tell. And you said that you believed that the Green Bay Packers were going to return to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I said no, they would not return to the Super Bowl. I actually took a stand on that, and I put that down, and I've never wavered on that. I said the Green Bay Packers will not return to the Super Bowl. And my reasoning was it's very common that when a team wins the Super Bowl, the first time that they do it, when those players, the next year they have what's called
letdown.
Yeah, they have like a letdown thing. I don't know what you call it, like the afterglow, and they don't take it as seriously, and they screw it up in the playoffs. I knew that was coming, and I said it, and I took a whole bunch of abuse in the chat room that night. The people who gave me the abuse, by the way, are not even in the chat room right now, so this is worthless. But some people were in the chat room, they're going, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Rabs, blah, 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 blah. So I just want to say to all you people who that night gave me, you didn't give me a hard time, by the way. Those people in the chat room did, and I just want to say to you, you might notice that the Green Bay Packers lost yesterday and they got eliminated. And I predicted that back in the summer, and I took a load of crap for it. That's the problem. My picks I always make months in advance, right? I take a load of crap for it. When finally I get proven right, nobody's around anymore. The other one was the 49ers.
Yeah.
What do you think of that pick? On November 1st, I posted on Facebook that the 49ers will win the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. I told you about that here on the show.
Yeah.
And you said, how are the 49ers going to win the Super Bowl? They've done nothing different.
Smith, yeah.
Alex Smith, they've done nothing different. It's the same team from last year, blah, 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 right? Did you not say that?
Yeah.
And what happened this weekend?
They beat the Saints.
They beat the Saints, and now what's the story?
They host the Giants.
They host the NFC Championship.
Unbelievable.
And the team they're facing is a team they've already beaten this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're like right on the doorstep of finishing this thing. Never argue against Rabbi Rabs when he puts out a prediction. There's a reason why he does it.
Because you've got, what's the Holy Spirit called?
I have the Ruach HaKodesh
Ruach
going.
HaKodesh,
Yes, that's what's going on. Yeah, I saw it in the light. Woo! I saw a vision from God. Alex Smith throwing a TD at the... What is that
14
amazing?
seconds, 9 seconds,
yeah,
9
amazing.
seconds left.
Great highlight clip.
Yeah,
all right.
Unbelievable.
So that's what's happening. Right, so I wanted just to confront you on following up on predictions. Also, last week I asked you a prediction. I said, right before the New Hampshire primary, I said, what do you predict? You said Santorum would come in second, and he would have 20% of the vote.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Santorum finished 5th, and he had 9% of the vote.
Oh, close.
Okay, so predicting this stuff, not your fort.
No.
Okay, what do you think? Let's go back to embarrass you some more. What do you think is going to happen to South Carolina?
I'm hoping Santorum's going to win.
Santorum's going to win South Carolina?
I mean, if I was a betting man, Romney's got to be the strong favorite. But I'm hoping for Santorum.
Okay. But you think he actually has a chance?
I think he has a chance.
I think he did amazing tonight. Oh, Faith is in there. Hey, Faith, how's it going? He did amazing tonight on the... I was watching the debate, but I had to leave obviously before the.
Right.
I saw the first half hour or 45 minutes of it, and he owned Romney, and if a lot of undecided voters in South Carolina saw that moment, I don't know if they're going to now swing and vote for Santorum, but I think he pulled a lot of people away from Romney. He owned him. You know what happened? Want me to tell you really fast? Mm-hmm. Romney put out, Romney's a really dirty candidate, and he put out a lot of dirty, his super PAC put out a lot of dirty advertisements, right? Mm-hmm. Just to slam all the various candidates. Right. And they slammed Santorum, and one of the things they slammed him with was they said that Santorum, he wants to give the right, he voted to give the right to vote to felons, convicted felons should have the right to vote. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. So Santorum challenged Romney back with that. Yeah. And he said, well, let's get the facts straight. Then here we are on Martin Luther King Day. I know that's a big day for you.
Yeah, big day.
I know if you were...
I was out down in Watts today celebrating with the brothers.
Yes, and eating fried chicken and watermelon, right?
Oh, just the watermelon, no vegetarian.
Okay, right. But the waffles. You're having that soul food. I know how you like that.
I got with a sister this afternoon.
Okay, so what am I saying? So Santorum challenged him tonight, and he said, "Listen, here's the thing. It was a Martin Luther King civil rights bill or whatever that was up when I was senator, and it was in honor of Martin Luther King. And the deal was that too many African Americans, men, had been a disproportionate amount of them had been imprisoned, mm-hmm. and they'd been taken away the right to vote, and they no longer had a say in anything in the government. So we felt it was the best idea was at least give these people, after they've paid their dues to society, after the time that they've completely expired their parole, probation, whatever they call it, that they would renew their right to vote.
Yeah.
Because Governor Romney, what would you do? What is your opinion on that? Do you believe that people that have served their time, mm-hmm. Completely served their time and everything, mm-hmm. should be given the right to vote? And he said, first of all, he dodged and he skipped the question mm-hmm. as much as he could. Right. He had a minute and a half, and he was dodging and ducking because that's the way that Romney is. He's a worm and he's a squirm and he's a greasy guy who will never answer a question straight up. And finally, Santorum said, answer the damn question. I'm not going to play your games, right? And he said, I don't believe that somebody who does a violent crime ever deserves the right to vote again. Mm-hmm. So he actually took a stand on something. Mm-hmm. And Santorum said, really? I know that while you were governor of Massachusetts, not only could the convicted felons mm-hmm. vote after they served their time, but while they were in prison, they still had the right to vote. They could vote while they were in prison. So if you, Romney, were so passionate about the fact that, Santorum is such a terrible guy because he's letting them vote after they come out, if that's how you really felt, why didn't you do something about it while you were governor of that state and try to take away their right for vote? You did nothing to try to change that. Right. And Romney had nothing he could say. He was owned. Santorum owned his ass. It was a greatest moment of the election so far. And I really hope that this is the tip of the iceberg, that people will start to see that Romney is a liar, he's a dirty player, he's not an honest broker, and this is why I will never vote for him. And people need to realize a lot of people are like me on this. We will not vote for this guy. This guy's a scumball. He's a slime. He's a sleaze. And he's bad for the Republicans, and he makes you look bad. I'm not a Republican, but he makes you guys look bad. You've got to get him out of there. I would rather have Santorum or Gingrich. Doesn't matter. What about you? Oh, we know you want.
I want Santorum, but I'm fine with Romney.
All right. I will not vote for him. All right, so let's get some Torah in here.
Yeah.
You ready for some Torah?
Yeah.
All right, I had some questions that came from our viewers over the last... Michelle's here. I'll start with her.
Yeah.
Michelle asked, she says, how do we feel about abortion, and would we... wait a minute, that was the question to Santorum. No, Michelle asked... Hey, Michelle. Michelle asked the question... she was talking about, about the story about the Marines that took a piss on...
Yeah, the Taliban.
What's your opinion on that, first of all, before we...
Well, I don't have a problem with it unless they videotape it and put it online. I think doing that is stupid. But don't videotape it and don't take pictures of it and